I'm Lieutenant Rosa, and you're watching Westville Weekly. Alright guys, I'm back. I missed last week. I was busy, really busy. Camera wasn't working. Finally got it back up and running. So I'm back. Listen, we got a lot to go over. And let's get right to it. Okay, the first incident was a robbery happened on Barnett Street. Could have sworn last week I said all of our robberies were isolated to the hotels. I knocked on wood. Apparently it didn't work. So we had one on Barnett Street. It was a pizza delivery guy. He was stuck up by a couple of guys with a couple of guns. We weren't able to make identification because they're masked up. However, we do have a phone number and our robbery unit is looking into that, and hopefully we could trace that number back to something. All right, the next two incidents are aggravated assaults. One happened at Amity Wine. A guy was coming out. He gets in an argument with someone that he knows. One of the assailants grabs a bottle, smashes him on the back of the head, and takes off running. We know who it is. We applied for the arrest warrant. Next, the other aggravated assault was a juvenile. Juvenile runs up to the other juvenile. They're talking trash, and one maces the other in the face. We're looking into that. We're going to issue the summons for the macing. Can't give you the name because, again, it's a juvenile. Okay, this next incident was a burglary. It happened on McKinley Avenue. Person goes into the garage, which the garage door was left open. They go into the garage, take some type of sharp tool, they cut open the fabric to the convertible top. They go in, they make everything disarray, they throw things around. Nothing of value was reported taken. One good thing about this is that we did lift a fingerprint. So hopefully we can link that fingerprint to other garage break-ins throughout that area, because we've been getting slammed. All right, we had a couple stolen motor vehicles as well. So one was taken from Fountain Terrace and the other one was taken from Glenview Terrace. The Fountain Terrace vehicle, guess what? Car was left unlocked, keys were left inside, so they stole it. The other vehicle from Glenview seemed more like an inside job. So the person was missing their key fob. They think it was someone who was coming to help them clean stuff up around the house, do some odds and ends, basically a fix-it person, and they believe that person stole the vehicle. We did recover the vehicle. We did recover it close to where that suspected person lives, and the investigation's ongoing. And we'll just wrap it up with a couple of car break-ins. One happened on Forest Road. Vehicle was left unlocked. Some change was stolen. Not much evidence to go off of that incident. And then we had another one that happened on Roger Road. This one, they entered the garage and they went through the car. The car was left unlocked, and stolen was some golf clubs out of that car. We just gotta make sure we keep things locked, but I do think it's the same person who's doing the garage break-in in that particular part of Westville. So hopefully that print actually correlates with this incident and we can all tie it together. As many of you know, we had a black bear walking around the neighborhood. Everyone did a really good job, the citizens. You guys did a really good job on calling us and letting us know where it was. Had a few questions. How do we handle these situations? Well, it's new to me. It's new to many of our officers. We contacted the DEEP and they just simply told us to take one officer with one vehicle around the bear, basically to corral it and help get it into the woods. They said don't spook the bear, don't go running after it and things like that, then you're just going to make the bear nervous. So there's no cause for concern. The bear was just moseying on around, didn't attack anyone, didn't do anything of that nature. We did spot the bear most recently in Orange. I guess maybe it's making its way back. There's a bear that lives in Woodbridge and its nickname is Boo Boo. This may be the same bear, so watch the video. Let me know if you think it's the same bear or if you know what Boo Boo looks like. Comment below, let us know if this is Boo Boo or not. I'm not sure. It could be a different bear. As far as I know, they do have their own little territories, and that's basically it. You guys did a wonderful job on calling us, and everything turned out positive. So let us know if it's Boo Boo. All right, so today we got a little special treat. Take us on a little bit of a road trip, and we're here at our animal shelter. We're about to do a little interview with one of our animal control officers, and he'll explain a little bit more about this bear.
How's it going, guys? I'm Officer Manganello. Officer Joe. A lot of people call me Officer Joe because Manganello is a little tricky. I've been a police officer in New Haven for 12 years. My position now is the Municipal Animal Control Officer. So we see between cats and dogs, we see generally about 700 or so animals per year. So typically this time of year in spring, we see a resurgence in wildlife calls. A lot of the animals, bears, raccoons, squirrels, all types of different things. They're giving birth to their pups. They're walking around more. They're out and about a little bit more. They're foraging for food. They're trying to feed their young. So encounters are are going to start to go up. Now, what I always try to encourage with folks is steer clear of the wildlife if at all possible. They come out and they forage for things like food. They're looking for shelter. They're looking for, you know, anything they can bring back to their young. So from a standpoint of trying to avoid those encounters, what I recommend people do is follow some basic things that you would do almost like as if you were going camping.
Okay.
And some of those things include, a lot of people like to have bird feeders out in their yards. When spring comes, you want to start eliminating the bird feeders because all the wildlife's going to start wanting to come out and eat what you have in the bird feeders. So you want to get rid of all your food sources, bird feeders being one of them. Garbage cans are a big thing. So we want to make sure that all garbage containers are tight and they can't be opened. So it's very important to not only make sure you put those, they have lids on them, but if you know you have a wildlife situation in your neighborhood, we're going to need to secure those containers so that they can't get in and get the food or whatever you have in there. A good piece of advice is cleaning your garbage containers periodically. A tip to use ammonia, because ammonia will help control the smell of whatever you put in your garbage can, and it'll help deter some of these creatures from wanting to go into your garbage cans. Keeping other animals out in your yard. There are some people who have things like chickens and different things like that. You want to make sure that you either have them really completely secure, because wildlife will kill and those as a food source. Same thing with your dogs and your cats. You don't want to leave them outside unattended. So you want to keep your dog on leash, not just letting them out in the yard on their own. If you're feeding your pets and your dogs outside, you want to make sure that you don't leave their food outside. And also you want to make sure you keep your barbecues clean. And for folks who are doing the composite piles, you want to make sure you're not putting things like meats and sweet smelling fruits and things like that, because that will also attract the different types of wildlife. So mainly what you're looking to do is you're just looking to eliminate that food source, or any thoughts of that food source. Now if you should come out early in the morning, you know, a good thing is to make a little bit of noise. So a lot of times these creatures are still foraging around from the evening time, so you make a little noise when you're going off to your car. You know, yell, scream, wave your arms around. If you have something like pots or pans you want to bang, believe it or not, they'll be more afraid of you than you are of them. So ultimately, I mean, there's no reason really to even get involved with the wildlife. If you're in your house and you see it out there, I mean, enjoy it for what it is, and give them some time. And generally, they're gonna poke around your yard and they're gonna leave on their own. If you're concerned that they may be getting into something or they may be nesting, if you feel like you're in a situation where you're really being threatened by any type of wildlife, the first step would be, you know, to call your local police department, because we're the most readily available. You can also call the DEP. I recommend everybody check out their website if they have an issue with any type of wildlife, because you can basically type in the wildlife you're having an issue with, and you can actually get a resource for that particular piece of wildlife as to how to deal with it. And they also have a telephone hotline number that you can call for them as well.
All right, guys, I'll be posting that hotline number. If you look below at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that number there, and also the website as well. All right, I guess that about wraps it up. So you heard it from our dog warden himself. Stay away from the animals. Don't give them any food. I understand I've been gone for a little bit, but I'll be back sooner than later. All right, guys, I'll see you next week. I'll try my best at least. All right, I'm Lieutenant Rosa. See you next week. Take it easy.